We're all experience-driven people, and by that I mean that we seek out things that makes us feel something. Now that could be excitement, that could be happiness, that could be experience of trying something new, and this is highly related to my camera obsession. I like gadgets, I like trying out new cameras and lenses because it makes me feel excitement of trying something new, experiencing something new and different. And I think this applies to all people one way or another. We all get bored sooner or later, and we seek something new and exciting. So when the new Fujifilm X100VI was released, I got caught up in the hype of that new camera, like apparently everyone else, as this is the most pre-ordered camera in history. And I've almost pulled the trigger on the X100VI several times, but I haven't gotten myself to go through with the purchase because deep down in my reasonable mind there's something telling me that this is not the sensible camera to buy. The whole marketing campaign of the Fuji X100VI and the predecessor, the X100V for that matter, is a small and compact camera that fits in your pocket so you can bring it with you everywhere. And that makes it so easy to take photos that it will bring back the fun of photography. But in the back of my mind there was this voice that said, isn't there a more reasonable camera that can give the same experience and that makes more sense to buy? To be fair to the X100VI, it's probably everything that the marketing says it is. And especially those Fujifilm simulations has been the biggest thing about this camera. Although you get those in every Fuji camera model, I believe. And to be honest, the film simulations won't make us better photographers. Sure, it could save some time in editing if the film simulation chosen is the one that works best for that specific photo, and we could therefore just post it to Instagram or whatever social media we prefer, but again, it won't make us better photographers. We still need to have an eye for composition, leading lines, and so forth. But the ease of use by having a camera you can bring with you everywhere that's so small and compact that it fits in your pocket, I do want a camera like that. Because bringing one of my full frame cameras with me if I just want to go for a walk with the kids does become such a hassle because of its size that I end up not bringing the camera and use my phone instead. I am fully invested in the Sony camera world with 2 full-frame cameras and several lenses for the Sony mount, so buying a whole other camera brand would not be the best or smartest choice. Let's just put it like that. So if I were to buy a new small and compact Sony camera, what could that be? It would need to have good photography features, of course, but I also would like to use it as a good B-cam for filmmaking, as I do film an almost weekly podcast with several camera angles, so it would be great if I could use it like that. And just as a photography camera, I could actually just get an A6000 camera, because even an old camera like that takes great photos paired with the right lens. But since I also wanted good video features, none of the older A6000 cameras was an option for me. And that ended up with only one choice, the newest APS-C camera from Sony, the A6700. A small interchangeable lens camera with good photography features, but most importantly with upgraded video features like 10-bit, 422, S-Log3, 4K up to 120 frames per second, and the same sensor that's in the cinema camera, the FX30. Now, it's not as small as the Fuji X100VI, but paired with this small pancake lens of 20mm f2.8 full frame equivalent to a 30mm, I can actually manage to slip this in my jacket pocket and it doesn't take up that much space. Since I bought this a couple of weeks ago, I've really enjoyed using it. It's so much easier to grab this instead of this if I'm just out and about with the kids, for example. And when it comes to the Fujifilm simulations, you can actually tweak the picture profiles inside of a Sony camera to simulate the Fujifilm simulations. It's not exactly the same, but it does give some cool looking photos if I just want to post them directly to Instagram. And most importantly, I can use all my Sony gear with this camera. There are no limitations.